Thank you. How did I know? How those boulders was going to go so cool? I just knew it. Let's start. Alright, thank you. Alright, guys, listen. Okay, Warren, the first question that I would like is just explain to us as a school where you started your schooling and how did your path go up to where you are at the moment.
Firstly, good morning allemaal. Baie meneer en baie geluk. Well done. Congratulations on winning that campaign. So when my schooling started, I'm going to speak in English. Welkom weer op die transport. Okay, so where my schooling started, I'm originally from Durban. I grew up on the Bluff, which is a little place in Durban, from a very small school. I first went to Afrikaans school, met die naam van Dirkie Eis Law School, and then I went to an English high school called Glenwood High School. I went to Potch University, Pucker. I studied graphic design, so at school was like bike and stuff. I was very artistic. I come from an artistic family, so everyone was, quite surprised that a rugby player could draw or paint, or so that was quite odd. But I did graphic design. But I was only there for a short while, and then I went to the Sharks Academy, and I studied, I did marketing at the Sharks Academy, and pretty much ended up in Johannesburg. I had to walk a bit of a long path. It didn't just happen for me as a youngster, and ended up at the Lions, and I've been very fortunate since then.
Your market hierarchy. What is your partner success? Is it something that came naturally, or moet jy maar hard gewerk het?
No, it didn't come naturally for me. I don't think I ever was. At school, no one told me you're going to be a Springbok, or you're going to play provincial rugby, or you're going to be a superstar. I came from a very small school, and when I went to Glenwood, the most difficult thing for me was I had all these boys I had to compete against. And it was a big eye-opener for me, because at DKS I think we only had one rugby team, and all of a sudden at Glenwood we had an A side up to an E side, and I played A side at under 14, but under 16 I was playing B side. I couldn't even make the A side, so I had to kind of go through these. I had to do these steps, I did play Craven Week. I played Craven Week in 2005. And then I went to and then I went to the Sharks Academy, and there was a couple stumbling blocks. I was in the Currie Cup squad and the Super Rugby squad. I didn't quite make it, and I'm now CEO of the Lions. Rudolph Scarlett, actually, he sat down with me and at the Sharks, because he had the Sharks at the time, and he told me, look Warren, you're just not good enough at this stage, and we just can't contract you. You're going to have to move on and find a place to play. And it was extremely tough for me, because growing up playing for Natal, for the Sharks, was like my absolute dream. And it just felt like, I felt like not giving up, but it was just, it was very difficult for me. And I actually went to Eastern Province, Whiteley, and I played there for 4 or 5 months in the first division. And I really enjoyed it. I loved playing there. And Dick Muir, who was at the Sharks at the time, moved to the Lions. And he said, look, Warren, would you like to come to Joburg, play for the Lions? There's more opportunity for you. There's meer geleentheid. And a Durban boy, surfer, loving the sea, and it was a big move for me to go to Joburg, where it's hustle and bustle, groot stad, mense is besig, en ek is maar 'n rustige mens. So it was difficult for me, and then I joined the Lions, and I mean from there it was tough. I got a hamstring injury in my first year, which was 2009, end of 2009, and I didn't play Super Rugby. I had to go play club rugby. So I played for Pirates, a rugby club. So I had to play club rugby, and I played club rugby for a couple months. And a coach by the name of John Mitchell, which is quite a well-known coach. He coached the Bulls last year in the Super Rugby, came to the Lions. And that was my breakthrough. He gave me an opportunity. I worked extremely hard, and I made my Currie Cup debut at the end of 2010, and my Super Rugby debut in 2011. At the age of 23, I was 23 years old. Yeah, so it wasn't easy. It was not a party.
But hard work. Thank you very much.
Warren, if I look at the matrics now, they are entering a phase where the record exam is coming up. So for them, it's almost like it is for you when you play for the Springboks, when you face the haka. So can you just elaborate, how does it feel to face the haka so that the matrics can look at that record exam paper at a different angle?
I think that matric exam is a lot more difficult than facing the haka, if I have to think back. So good luck to all the matrics. For your exam. No, it's really special. I think growing up, I really idolized the Springboks, and especially facing the haka. Like since I was a young boy, 7 or 8, my dad used to wake me up early in the mornings. And before your time, it was called the Tri-Nations, which is now the Rugby Championship, where we used to play New Zealand and Australia. South Africa never used to play Argentina. And back in the day, because of the time difference, they used to play early in the morning. I don't know if anyone can remember. 3:30. And my dad used to wake me up. Julle sal nie kan onthou nie, maar my pa het my altyd wakker gemaak. So he woke me up early in the morning, and we would watch the rugby together. And obviously growing up, the haka is really something special. And the tradition behind the haka as a challenge is amazing. So to face it is something extremely special, and yeah, it's a bit of a surreal moment when you're actually standing there and you're facing it, and you've been dreaming about this your whole life, and now you're actually facing it, and you're there, you're in that moment. So very special.
Warren, can I ask you, sport in schools is there to develop children, we all know that. But I mean, sports has also become a very large part of their lives. All right, and many of these boys that sit here today want to become Springbok or provincial rugby players or soccer players or whatever. Can you tell us, just from your perspective, as a Springbok rugby player, how important is academics for these kids that they might not realize at this stage? How many of you guys actually make it to the top?
Yeah, it's actually quite scary to think about how many guys I played Craven Week with, or how many guys I played Natal or Sharks under 19 and under 21 that are playing professional rugby at this stage. And I'll be honest with you, there's only 2 of us. There's only 2 of us. And so the percentage is really, really small. It's extremely competitive, as you all know, sports in South Africa. But I think most importantly for anyone, for all julle jong ouens, the most important thing for me about sports is the values, die waardes wat jy leer. So the values that you learn out of sports is unbelievable and something you can take forward in your life. And that's why sport is so important within schools. That's why education is so important, guys. And the values that you learn. So ek dink akademies, dis baie belangrik om julle passies te volg. It's very important to follow your passion. But academics is something you're always going to need in your life. Sport, the values are very important, and that's something you can take forward. But your studies is something you have to take seriously. It's not easy. Ek was daar gewees. Ek was nie die beste nie. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't the greatest. But you can always learn and educate yourself. I think that's the most important thing. And follow your passion. Not what anyone else tells you. Dit is soms moeilik. As maar vir jou sê jy moet 'n prokureur wees, maar jy wil 'n grafiese ontwerper wees of jy wil skilder. The most important thing is to follow your passion and what your heart tells you.
Is it, before I give you a chance, is it true that you were a flyer at first?
Yeah, so I played all over the field. I mean, I played wing, flank, centre. I only moved to the forwards at the age of 16. So I moved to open side flank when I was 16 years old, and then I played number 8 for the first time when I was 20 years old, and then, yeah, since then mostly number 8.
Before I ask a question, under 14 hockey girls, put up your hands, please. What? Oh, guys, it's a good achievement. Right, so these girls are participating on Saturday in the quarters for Mpumalanga. How can they prepare this week to be the best on Saturday?
From my experience, and this comes, I think you can, it's for anything, not just in sports. I mean, whether you're playing in an important game, say a quarterfinal, final, semi-final, whether you're doing a presentation at school, or you're writing an exam, the most important thing is to always prepare the same and never change anything. As humans, naturally, as ons 'n groot eksamen skryf of say we're playing in a big game, we psychologically we make it difficult for ourselves. Ons begin stress, we get emotional, and that's when you make mistakes. So it's very important for all you girls just to stay calm and play like you always play and prepare just how you always prepare. There's no difference in playing a final or playing a normal round-robin game. The difference is psychologically in your head. And that's often the difference on the scoreboard as well. So you have to try and stay calm and in the moment and approach it just like a normal game.
Thank you, and good luck, girls.
Warren, our second team that sits in front here, we've obviously won the Mpumalanga League. As a professional, what would you say helps you with self-discipline in terms of you have to get up and you have to do the hard yards to become successful? So what advice can you give us as a school here to get that mindset right of self-discipline, whether it's in academics or sport?
I think yes, it's a difficult one, and I believe for your generation, it's become even more difficult, and that's because of the information age that we are, and because of social media. Julle almal het Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and ongelukkig, unfortunately for all of us, and it has touched us as well, so we've gotten used to instant gratification, onmiddellike bevrediging. So we want things extremely quickly. So ek wil op my foon gaan, ek kan 'n pizza kry, ek kan Netflix download, en ek kan in 5 minute kan ek my, of 10 minute kan ek 'n pizza, my warm pizza hê, en ek kan my fliek kyk. And unfortunately we've gotten impatient. So patience, geduld, is a massive thing. We're just not patient anymore. And hard work, unfortunately, and achievement comes with constant hard work, which is also patience. En ons moet geduld hê, julle. Dit is regtig ietsie wat ek sien dit ook met ons jonger spelers. Hulle wil dadelik vir die Springbokke speel. As hulle nie in 'n jaar of 2 vir die Bokke speel nie, dan wil hulle sommer oor see gaan. En ek dink geduld is 'n groot ding, nie net in sport nie, maar in the workplace. It's a huge thing to have patience, to constantly work hard every single day. And I promise you, patience is a virtue, and you will get rewarded for that. it's worth gold now at the moment in today's time.
Warren, I'd like Henry to ask this to you, because it has to do with the loyalty factor. You actually mentioned the section of it now, and I'm going to leave it to her to ask.
As ek reg verstaan, is dit baie lank by die leeu's en jy het al baie kontrakte gehad om oor see te gaan, wat jy van die hand gewys het. Hoekom?
Dis is moeilik. Niemand het al daai vraag vir my gevra nie. I think it's probably a combination of things. I always believe in my life. Soos as julle nou, as julle julle doelwitte wil gaan neerskryf, dis iets wat ek doen. Gaan kry 'n stukkie papier en skryf jy doelwitte. So you write your goals, but you also write your values, your waardes. Wat ook al jou waardes, wat belangrik is vir jou. And whenever you want something in life, or you want to achieve something, or you want to go somewhere, it has to align. So if it doesn't align to your values, or to your goals, then you shouldn't do it. So van kleins af, waar ek nog altyd 100 wedstryde gespeel het, nog altyd. Dit was 'n droom van my. I always looked up to the players that achieved playing 100 games for a union, for that specific union. And it's something that I've always wanted to do. And the last 2 years has been an absolute struggle to get there. I think I'm on 95 or 96 Super Rugby games. And it's been an absolute dream of mine. And for me to give that up at this stage, for basically 80% of it is financial gain, it just doesn't align to my values, and therefore I just can't make the decision. And that is why I want to stay in South Africa, I want to play for the Lions, I want to finish here, and I want to coach. So I want to do.
Warren, the last question from my side is, and as a very big Lion supporter through the years, I want to ask you this morning. A couple of years back, and I listened to the years that you mentioned earlier on, 2010 to 2011, the Lion team was down and out. And then you guys stepped in, there were a number of you guys that stepped in, and then suddenly everything started changing. What were the factors involved there?
So I gaan my rugby vat. I could speak probably for about an hour, 2 hours on that. That was, it was really an amazing story. If any of you know, we were relegated out of Super Rugby in 2012. And I think in 2010 or 2011, we won out of 12 or 13 games. I think there was one season we didn't win a game at all. And then the next season we won, I think 2 games or 3 games. And we were relegated out of Super Rugby. And the coach left, so Dick Muir left, John Mitchell came in, John Mitchell left, and then Coach Jan Ackerman took over. And he had a very clear vision of what he wanted for us as a team. And we sat as a group, like you guys are now, and we decided what our values, what ons waardes is, and what we're going to stand for as a team. And that our mission and our purpose will always be greater than winning. So ons missie, or your purpose, will always be greater than actual winning. So a lot of people play to win, but we don't play to win. So ons het 2 goed. We've got 2 things that we want to do. We want to inspire nations by the way we play, inspire people by the way we play, and then we want to glorify God in everything we do. So those are 2 things that we stand for, that we decided. So when we play rugby, we don't play to win. And that takes a lot of pressure off. As you all know, winning is a difficult thing. So as soon as your focus is on your purpose and your mission, it's very powerful. Because winning is an end result. It's an end product. There's steps that you need to do before you can actually get there. And that's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on your mission and your purpose every single day. And that will get you to your goal, which is obviously winning. We want to win, that's a goal, but it's not our mission. So to put it in words, your mission or your purpose takes precedence over winning. So winning winning is merely a result of your mission or purpose, but it's not the mission itself, if that makes sense. So that, in whole, was pretty much what we stood for, and Coach Johan Ackerman was unbelievable. There were obviously a lot of things we did. So he contracted players on character. So I believe that you don't need the best people. You need the best mense but you need the right people. You need enough mense. So not the best, but the right people. And he believed that as well. So he chose players on character. And a lot of us came from other unions. I came from the Sharks, Courtnall came from the Bulls, Franco also from the Bulls. Guys from all over the country, province, Free State, all over. And we were players that were rejected from other provinces. So we were fighters. Ons was nogal, we wanted to do something special. We had gone through adversity as players, and I think we all had character and determination and patience, because we weren't told at the age of 18 that we were going to be Springboks and amazing players and we got these big contracts. We really had to fight for what we wanted, and we needed to work hard to get there. So we started out, and in 2014 it wasn't easy. In 2014 we finished 12th in Super Rugby, so 12th. Maar we still surprised a lot of people. We won a lot of games that a lot of people didn't think we would win. And then in 2015 we finished 10th. And then, as you all know, 2016 we played in the final, 2017 we played in the final, and 2018 we played in the final. So we were extremely fortunate with the run we had, and I think Coach Johan Ackerman was really the, he lit the fire. And it's obviously something this season has been very disappointing, and we've let go of a couple of things, but I'm confident that we can get there again.
That was going to be my next question that you answered. Thank you very much.
Unfortunately, I see you are married. But what pickup line did you use? Because it worked.
No, I didn't use a pickup line. My wife actually, yes, I was So my wife actually worked at the Sharks at the time, and I met my wife when I was 20 years old, so I was very young. So I met her fortunately when I was very young, because we all know 20-year-olds, you go through a bit of a phase in your life, and she really stabilized me, and she was amazing for me as a person. So I met her at a very young age, and she worked at the Sharks in the marketing department, and she's a bit older than I am. Embarrassed her. I think it's not easy to be married to a rugby player. It's extremely difficult because of the amount of traveling we do, and at that stage in my career, I had absolutely nothing. She was working for the Sharks. She had a car. I didn't have a car. I didn't have anything. I wasn't earning a salary. She was working, earning a salary. And I got my first contract at the age of 23. And so for 3 years, she saw this guy who had absolutely nothing playing rugby, and I don't know what she saw in me, but I'm very grateful that stuck to it.
I think your wife used North Bertha's famous sentence: if you are good enough, you are old enough. She must have. Okay, now my last question to you, Warren, is I would like to know from you, who is the toughest player that you have ever played against in your career thus far?
Sure. It's a difficult question because when you play, you don't. At school, it's completely different. Op school is een beetje anders. Like you always, op school is er altijd die een ou wat jy net een gaan speel en hy's die beste en wat ook al sy naam is. As Leonard nou teen byvoorbeeld Waterkloof gespeel het of Ek wil onthou, destyds ons teen Grey Bloem gespeel, en Fransstein was hulle loskaap geweest, en almal het gepraat oor Fransstein. So, at school, it's like a huge thing. You're playing against this guy, and you psych yourself out. Maar op professionele vlak is het glad nie so nie. You don't even think about, you know your opposition, you know their strengths and weaknesses, but you don't psych yourself out. You're confident in what you want to do and what you want to achieve. And if I had to say the toughest player I wouldn't say played against or played with, a guy that I really have a lot of respect for, hy's nie meer by die Blues nie, maar is Jaco Kreel. So Jaco Kreel, I can tell you a story of Jaco Kreel. Hy is unbelievable, hy's regtig 'n spesiale mens en hy baie moeilik groot geword. Hy was in Standerton. He grew up in Standerton, which is not too far away, and he had a very tough upbringing. Tough groot geword, and no one really believed in him. He was always the smallest, hy was altyd die kleinste. Ek dink in matriek het hy iets van die 60s geweeg. Hy was 68, almal het gesê hy is nie goed genoeg nie. He'll never be good enough. En hy is net 'n ou as jy saam met hom speel of selfs teen hom oefen. He's a guy that is just relentless. Hy het soveel passie and his effort is unbelievable. Hy sal nooit opgee. So hy's 'n speler wat ek regtig baie respek vir het en sy waardesisteem is unbelievable. So ek sal sê ja.
Nou, ons sal met die plaas hier weer om vrae te vra. Wie dan nog vrae het, dan opstel.